Good day, team. You are here with Kyndryl. My name is Ryan Severson. I am a partner development manager slash business development executive with the Microsoft Global Alliance team. I have with me Arden Fereshetian. He is the product manager over the cloud team. And we are here to talk to you today about Microsoft Azure Stack HCI plus Azure Arc. So, Arden, can you tell me a little bit about who Kyndryl is?
I'd love to, Ryan, and nice to be with you today. So, for our viewers who may not be so familiar with Kyndryl, we actually were not yet our own company not so long ago. So, just last year, Kyndryl spun off from IBM after having been part of the Global Technology Services division for many decades. And during our time with IBM, we served numerous customers around the globe across really any industry imaginable. But some of the key areas that I'd like to point out for our viewers is that as an independent organization, we have nearly 100,000 skilled professionals, which makes us the largest managed services organization globally. And we've also got over 30,000 vendor recognized certifications, specifically in Microsoft Azure, as well as in some of the other cloud providers like AWS and with VMware. So with that, I'm really looking forward to talking to you a bit more about the Azure Stack HCI with Arc solution that Kyndryl has to offer.
So, Arden, can you tell me how private cloud is helping customers on their cloud journey?
I'd love to, Ryan. Within the cloud practice here at Kyndryl, private cloud services is really focused on providing managed infrastructure as a service. And in doing so, we alleviate a lot of the complexities and challenges that customers face day to day at their organizations. Number one, we help customers get better time to value from their cloud infrastructure, whether it's by modernizing their legacy systems or by allowing them to refocus on really the core elements of their business and outsource and offset many of those day-to-day maintenance and operational needs over to Kyndryl. We have a wealth of experience in providing these kinds of services and can also bring a host of new benefits, whether they're automation, security and resiliency, and ultimately help customers in their journey and their tiered steps towards migrating to the Azure cloud.
Arden, can you tell me what value our customers are seeing out of Azure Stack HCI plus Arc?
Well, the managed service that Kyndryl provides for Microsoft Azure Stack HCI with Azure Arc, first and foremost, provides customers with Microsoft certified hardware in the hyper-converged infrastructure solution. So what that means is that customers can benefit from the small footprint. Typically, we're seeing organizations have around 3 to 4 nodes on average per cluster, with around 3 clusters per implementation. And what that means is that whether it's the remote office or the core data center, customers are able to bring these Azure cloud services to the on-premises location and take full advantage of what they're used to in the Azure public cloud. Now with Kyndryl, you specifically gain that true distributed cloud experience. And what I mean by that is by combining Azure Arc with Azure Stack HCI, customers can gain a single pane of glass by which to manage and operate both their public and private clouds. So this is really one of the core areas that customers can expect to gain and benefit from with Kyndryl. Second, I mentioned the reduced operational tasks and needs that organizations can expect when partnering with us. But I'd like to highlight not only do they benefit in this capacity, but you can also expect a very cloud-like experience, whether it's the billing model or in the way in which you consume virtual resources. The on-premises data center and infrastructure will reflect the same experience that customers are used to in the public cloud. So this is yet another way that this solution really caters to many of Kyndryl's customers. And lastly, I'll just highlight the flexibility we have as a managed service provider. I mentioned earlier that we're on a global scale. leading the managed services area. And in being able to do so, we can provide a wealth of services that cater to customers' various needs and can really span across industries.
Thank you, Arden. Can you tell me a little bit more about the different industries and the application of this technology?
Yes, I'd love to, Ryan. Absolutely. There are really many industries that this solution applies to and can cater to those markets. At the moment, we're working with a few large telco organizations, and specifically, we have seen a lot of growth in the manufacturing space. So when you think about just the wealth and magnitude of data that's collected at manufacturing sites, and the kind of analytics, whether it's augmented reality or machine learning, that customers want to apply to this data, this solution really is a perfect opportunity to bring local Azure cloud services and be able to keep data where it is, maintain that high performance and low latency, and be able to operate both their public and private clouds in unison. So there really is a seamless connection between the data they're collecting on-prem and the analytics and higher level services that they're applying in the public cloud.
It's great to see how we're solving some customer problems here with anomaly detection using computer vision, predictive maintenance, tracking supply chains, as well as things like digital twins.
Absolutely. And Ryan, as we take a look at this next slide, I just want to highlight one other industry that we're really seeing significant growth in and a notable trend, and that's the financial services sector. The reason being, as you know, that many of Kyndryl's customers and many banks around the world have the unique challenge of being able to provide such a high and seamless experience for customers that we've all come to expect while maintaining a very rigid regulatory environment and meeting all the compliance needs that are imposed upon them. And so with an Azure Stack HCI with Arc solution provided by Kyndryl, really what we can help customers with is bringing that cloud-like experience, bringing the Azure native services down to where the data is residing and where transactions are taking place. Again, whether that's the core data center or point of sale in this situation, being able to apply those Azure services in real time, especially things like continuous data backup and replication. These are things that customers really value and appreciate from a Kyndryl managed service. So just wanted to also highlight the financial services market as really one of the top growing industries we're seeing for this solution.
Thanks, Arden. Seems like this really plays into Windows end of life and SQL optimization as well, and modernization.
That's so true. And I'm glad you brought that up, because when we think about the end of life challenge that many customers are facing, this is actually the perfect opportunity. By adopting an Azure Stack HCI solution, you not only mitigate that problem, but actually take a big step in terms of moving forward in that cloud journey towards Azure.
And we here at Kyndryl are here to partner with you and empower progress.
With that, Ryan, I think what we'd like to do now is first thank our audience for joining us today on this webinar. And we hope you gained a lot of valuable information. And we hope you also learned a little bit about who we are as Kyndryl and what we offer to the market and our customers. If you'd like to learn more, we encourage you to check out our marketplace page. We're an Azure Stack partner on the Microsoft Marketplace, and you can do so by scanning the QR code on your screen. We also really would like to get in touch with you if this presentation resonated with you or your organization. So please reach out to your account executive, and we can schedule a technical briefing to dive into more specifics around the solution and around how we can be of benefit to you the same way we have been with so many of our customers. So we thank you again and appreciate your time for joining us today.
Thank you, Arden.